Hello friends. Today we are going to talk about the communicating with the publishers for publications of articles and research papers. See, as a teacher in the fraternity of academics, it is very essential to upgrade yourselves. It is very essential to update with a day-to-day knowledge. And at the same time, it is our responsibility to share what we learn, what we identify, and what are the new things, what are the new concepts we came across. So on. To share, to spread the informations, the knowledge, what you get through your experience, it is very essential to publish it at a very proper platform. And so on. Today, we are going to discuss importance of publication as well as how to communicate, how to identify a good journal for to reach at the proper publisher. Let's start. Why to write and publish a research paper? The thing is that the research word, if you understand from your side, it is a journey from known to unknown. Right? And to share the research finding, to share the experience, to share the outputs, what you have achieved throughout your phase of teaching professions. The second point, why we should publish our research papers for the further progress. To get the prompt, to get the recognition for knowledge sharing and achievement. See friends, basically what happens in the fraternity of academy, the teachers, they introduce something new, most probably in the remote area. They experienced something new, but because of lack of informations related to the publications or any kind of other lack of resources, they can't publish their innovative method, their experience with us. That is why it is the most prominent component that at the time of publications, you are sharing your knowledge and achievement to make it recognizable. The other thing, what I would like to discuss, main notions in the publication is what? Some people ask about that. I have written something and I want to publish it. It is fine if you write something. It is fine you are attempting something. But again and again, you have to read it. If you satisfy whatever the things you have written on the paper, whatever the things you are achieving, is it a really innovative? Because one notion is there, you are rated by what you produce, not by what you attempt. Because if you find something new, if you find something innovative, if you find something interesting, then only you can publish it. If you are not satisfied what you have done from your side, then it creates a troublesome. Why it is a troublesome? Because if you can't understand the things what you have written, then how it would be better for the public. So always remember that the things what you find, that is essential. How much you try to get it, that is not. Now let's talk about how to getting a paper published. I would like to share that nowadays it is a really a very great matter. UGC Catalyst is introduced, and there were notions of mushrooming in the publications. Each and every day you can came across through a new journal, and after the 12 months or 2 years you have to find that journal. So the tough competition nowadays, it is created, and you have to look out for the better publishers. Competitions for the space in general is intense. Sometimes some are the paid journals, some are the free journals. Basically, if you have a good research, then don't need to pay even a single penny to the publishers. Because what are the things you have created? What are the things you have innovated? It is up to the mark, and it will definitely in demand. Basically, if we categorized the rejection rate in a good journal, I'm using the word good journal. Suppose journal X is 50%, journal Y is 65%, and science and nature, that is 90%. So you have to understand one thing from X, Y, and the last. We have the rate of rejection is related to the 50%. So you have to work on that rest of the 50%. There are some tips I would like to share with you while you are going to publish your paper, while you are going to expand the horizon of your information through with the others. So the first thing, know the journal, its editor, and submit the paper. In the most of the cases, what happens nowadays, we have the plenty of the sources in online platform. On that platform, everything is available. So whenever you are just submitting your paper, at the same time, take a time to identify the journal. Take a time to identify the quality of a journal. Identify the editor body. Identify in which category the journal is. I'll talk later on about the categories, which word I used. But these things you have to keep in mind. The second thing, pay close attentions on the grammar and the punctuations on. Sometimes what happens, we write a paper, we just provide a concept to the people, but what happens as a I'm working with one of a journal, and I would like to share that experience as well. People have tremendous notions, or they are in a very hurry to publish their paper, and at the same time they are committing silly mistakes. That is a silly mistakes. That is not I would like to say the word, it is not the fault, but it's a silly mistake. It may be error. So they are using that kind of the silly mistakes and never focused on what they have written. as a student of language, we should be very much aware what are the words even you are choosing. You have to be very choosy related to your words. Use the punctuations at the proper. If that would be the inverted comma, then that should be there. We cannot convert that in our words and we represent it in our language. It should not be there. You have to be very much conscious about that one. Make sure references are comprehensive and accurate. See, this is ethical practice while you are in the field of research. And why it is essential, I am going to talk about H-index as well today. So at that time you understand why I am using these things. The major thing is that if you are citing someone, give a credit to that person properly. Because some are the famous or the well-known journals. They are pointing at each and everything what you are using on your paper. Avoid careless mistakes. Why careless mistakes? It should be a question. Sometimes we just have, we just came across any kind of a journal, published within 24 hours. We submit the paper, published it, and then vanished it. Are you getting my point? So the main thing is that don't be a careless, because your work, what you have done, it is important for you as well as the people from the field. Read and confirm the instructions for the authors. Yes. Few journals, they have their own templates, they have their own method. They just provide the guidelines for the authors. And accordingly, you have to edit your paper. And then you can send it to the author or that person, editor or whatsoever is there. So, if you are not following this type, then there would be the trouble. Maybe there are chances for the rejection. Maybe there are chances they cannot even contact you. They cannot even revert you because you are not following what they have said. So these are the essential tips which you have to keep in mind. Now, what are the good things constitutes good in the paper? The first thing is that whatever you are doing, what are the things you are doing, it should be novel. It's a new and not resembling something formally known or used. It should not be farrago, in short. Not the assembling the notions or the views of the people and just you used it. It is acceptable but not ethical. The second thing, mechanic testing, a hypothesis determining the fundamental process involved in or responsible for an action, reaction or other natural phenomena. See, whether the research is small or huge, but you have to, at the initial stage, select your directions, significance. If you are not raising a question, if you are not argumentative in your writing style, then how you can justify what you have done. So the point what you are raising, that should be justified. And so on. We are using that technical terms or the mechanist term, that is the hypothesis. The third thing is that descriptive describes how things are but does not test how work hypotheses are not tested. See what happens. Describe that, how the things are at a real world, at a practical world, but does not test how the work hypotheses are not tested. What are the things? You have to reflect on your hypothesis. If you came across the good case studies, they have, at the initial stage, they have decided some hypothesis. For what? Because they have to prove that hypothesis, whether it is their assumptions, what they have think for the desirable result, it works or not. That is called a real research. That is called a proper research. So always be conscious about that one. Now I would like to talk about Bloom's taxonomy, which we have already in learning strategies. But for the publication strategies, I would like to explain it. There are some concepts are there. Using a problem solving method, manipulating, designing and experimenting. Basically in the field of English, most probably in ELT. And also I would like to talk about the course designing method. What they have done, they find the problems and the real world problem. That problems, as a part of gap, they are using it, they are experimenting it, they are experimenting on the sample, and that we call a pre-test and those all the stuff, pre-test, while test and the post-test. That is the formations of the action research. And then they are coming with a new approach. So that is called experimental design. So while you are writing your research paper in this manner, it is very essential, because at that time you are argumentative while you are publishing the things. So it would be very neat and clear. The next thing is recall of information, discoveries, observations, and naming it. It is not like that you are only in this particular field. Somewhere, somehow, someone is related to that point, directly or indirectly. So always discover that, observe that, what are the things is new in your field, what are the things has been already done from the researchers, and then apply your knowledge from your side. In some concept, in the evaluations part, assessing theories are there. There would be the comparisons of ideas, evaluating outcomes, solving, judging, recommending, and rating. While you are interacting with the publishers, while you are writing something with the publishers, while you are submitting your paper, then they will access the theory, whether it is really a good work, it is really a perfect piece of work. Then they evaluating the outcomes and then recommended it. That is called blind review, right? And then there would be a rating. Is it a real quality paper to publish it or not? Then identifying and analyzing the patterns, organizations of idea, recognition of trends. As I have already discussed, as I have already told you about that, if you have something new, if you are innovative, if you are dealing with real world problem, then you will definitely get the recognition and the publisher has to publish your work. But the quality you have to maintain. And the last thing I would like to discuss, that understanding, translating, summarizing and discussing. You have to understand what are the arguments you have raised at your initial stage. What are the arguments you are creating. First, you have to explain it. Because the thing is that why I am discussing these things in detail. Whatever the things you are writing, that is for the public. The people are going to read it. And still, if the people are not getting what you are telling, what is your concept, what exactly you are planning to ask them, then the main intentions from your side, the main intention to publish a paper, the main intention to raise the questions and its solutions would not be fruitful. That is why each and every aspect, and the research is not limited towards the one state, one country. It is totally, you can take a reference from the whole world. Suppose English language teaching, we are facing a trouble as ESL learners. The same thing, the same problem is facing through the China as well. The same thing happens in the Asiatic countries, most probably. So, if the Afro-American people or the African countries, if they are facing this kind of same trouble, what kind of the experimental or what kind of the new approaches they have referred, and whether they get succeed or not, that is another matter. But you can refer that one. You have to be conscious about that only. Whatever you are referring, it should be real, it should be straight to the point, and in a lucid manner you have to refer him. These things is very essential. So Bloom's taxonomy for the publication, actually I have to use that word, Bloom's taxonomy for the publication. On this basis, we can also understand the procedure of the publications. Now, let's talk about what constitutes good journal. There are, as I have already told you, from the online sources, the journals are overblooming. So what are the good things we have to keep in mind while we are publishing our paper? The first thing is impact factor. Now, let's talk something in detail. Average number of times published papers are cited up to 2 years after publications. Average number of times, I am talking about that one. For the 2 years only they are cited. Then immediacy indexed. In that case, average number of times published papers are cited during the year of publication. Here, the work and the citation matters. That is what I would like to point out it. And lead time or the incubation times, average time taken for the paper from receipt to publication. So now I don't have to discuss these things in detail. You can directly identify how you can publish the paper, how you can just lead your paper. Things to keep in mind before writing. This is the major thing. At the time to write a paper, the first point, the significance advancement been made. Whatever the things, it should be advanced. The second thing is the hypothesis straightforward. Sometimes what happens, at the time of writing, the hypothesis is something else. and at the end of time you have something else. So you have, whenever you are writing your paper, you have to be straightforward to your hypothesis, whether it is proved, null, whatever is there. Directly you have to be argument towards your hypothesis. Don't be divert from that. The second thing is that you have to keep in mind the hypothesis really experiments the test. Whatever the experiments you have done, it is really argument your hypothesis, in short. The next thing, are the controls appropriate and sufficient? See, sometimes what happens, it is based on your design, research design. It is, you are choosing your control group, non-control group, or one handled group. Sample can be vary. It's not an issue. But you have to very much conscious the controls are appropriate and sufficient. Sometimes what happens, you have a very small sample and you have to prove it at a larger scale. So you have to be very much conscious about that one by at the time of choosing your samples. It is whether it is appropriate or not. The main thing, are you, whatever the work has been done by you, are you able to describe that word within 1 or 2 minutes? It is really a matter a lot. Because if you have guts to summarize whatever the things you have done within 1 to 2 minutes, then the people, the local exactly, they will become, attentive towards your learning procedure, towards your research procedure. The next point, can the key message be written in 1 or 2 sentences? If you came across a good papers, good research papers, good articles, then there is a column of keywords which you are completely focusing back to back. You are very much conscious about that particular words. So, is it in 1 or 2 lines or not? That should be there. Because keywords highlights the impact of your paper, of your research work. I would like to quote one thing is that those who have the most to say usually say it with the fewest word. It is a French proverb. If you say something in a very few words, if you react with a few words, then the person will automatically curious to listen you. The person will automatically curious to identify you. He will take an interest, whatever the things, whatever the research, whatever the new approach you are applying, what are the new innovations you are applying. He will definitely try to be understand you. So, whatever the things you have written, whatever the concepts you are using, you have to summarize within 2 to 3 lines with keywords. The next thing, I'm just incorporate ELT and literature, both the things. That is why I use some concept from the tables and figures. The tables and figures, what happens? What we love, we represent. There are the particular format. There are the particular size even. In that fixed criteria, You have to draw, or you have to represent your tables. The figures and the facts which you are using, it should be up to the marks as per the demand of that particular journal. If it's a good journal, then they will definitely provide you all the details. In this format we want, this kinds of font we want, this kind of image resolutions we want, 3D dimensions, whether if they want, they will definitely ask you for that also. So these are the good signs of a good journals. The another thing in the tables and figures, from what are the things you are using in the tables, it should be directly, self explanatory. Definitely you are going to discuss by the words, but at the same time, if a person have only the glimpses on that table, he has to be identify that one, what exactly the table is going to reflect. That quality should be there in that. Read the references. The main thing is that. Why you have to read the referencing? It will help you to choose a good journal. It will also provide you the better insights for reviewers. Now, these 2 points, if you focused in a detail, our main intention is that we want our work at a good place, in a good journal. That is why the references will help you what kind of journal, because that work is already published, so it will provide you some the ideas whether you should go with this journal or not. As well as from the citation rate, you can also identify that one, the work is good or not. Next thing, choose the journal. There are the 2 points. First one is study instructions to authors. Sometimes what happens in India, basically, if you published your research work, your research paper or the articles, very we can say very rare things they are demanding specifically. At the other side, if you are publishing your paper in any kind of suppose you can talk about the British countries, Britain, or the European countries, they are very much choosy. They are very much conscious what you are publishing, what you are reacting. So always be conscious while you are choosing a journal. Read instructions of author. Second thing, quality of a journal and its impact factor. The quality of a journal. Let's have an example. You can visit your seniors' work. You can refer in which kind of the journals they have published their work. And from that you can have an idea. You can study that journal in a way. Actually, I am using that word. You have to study the journal before you publishing your work. Why I am telling this one? Because everything is online available. You can find, is it in Index, is it in Scopus, is it in Web of Science, impact factor, right? So is it in UGC Catalyst also? So if you came across these all the things, you can choose that one, whether this journal is exactly fit for you or not. So always remember, check before you published that all the things. Now things what you have to keep in mind is, has considerable work been done to warrant a publication? And aim and the scope of the journal, does it go with your definition? These 2 points are very argumentative in the field of research. What happens? Sometimes we write a paper and without any kind of information related to that journal, if someone you just send or you just submit your paper, and there are chances for the rejection, not because of the quality is not there, because the title did not match with your work. The title does not match with your work. So these kinds of the problems are still happening. Still the researchers, the beginners, while they are writing something and they are curious to publish their work and to share with the public, they are in the too much hurry. That rush leads them maybe in another corner. So you have to be very much focused and very much attentive. Now, for the fixed criteria to publish your paper, to publish your article. So what should be the order? It is a standard order of to publish any kind of a research paper or the articles. The first one, title, abstract and keywords, introduction, then method, then results, then discussions, acknowledgement and the references. This is the proper order while you are publishing your paper. Yes, I would like to say something on title. See, while you are choosing your title, it should be very catchy, attractive, because you are writing for the readers, not for you. Abstract should be 200 to 250 words. In introduction, you have to represent the real world problems. And the methods and the results, that is up to the paper. What you used, how you used, it is related to your work. But the major thing which you have to be keep in mind while you are writing, right? That is what. In the part of discussion, you have to also talk about the argument which you have raised at your introduction. It should be justified over there. So be conscious about that also. Now, theoretical considerations, what should be there? Build a theory or buy a theory, that whatever the things, buy a theory, that means I want to say that one, you referred someone's work, then you can have the new exposure towards that work. Discuss the parameters to be evaluated. What are the criteria exactly? Try to have interactions before you submitting your paper with that particular journal. Then justify your choice as well. And then this should be preside your experimental as well as the empirical details in method section. Basically, in language, we are using empirical because theoretical based approaches we have, and that is why empirical research we are preferring a lot. But at the same time, now we are also using experimental or the action research, and for that it is essential to preside the details and the method, what kind of the work, what kind of the methods or the methods you are using for your research. Let's talk about the materials and the method. The base to begin a writing with the experiments lead somewhere. You have to refer it. These things has been already done, and from that I am just pick-upping. Reference publish method where appropriate. The method, the published method, right? You have to refer which design is exactly appropriate for your work, which match with you. Use descriptive subheadings. In the most of the cases, if we heard a heading, so we just have, one or two words definition, that's what. It is nothing like that in the research work. Use descriptive subheadings. Starting materials, synthesis, and materials characterizations. The sample, the tools, the data, the theory. These are the materials which we are using. So it should be characterized in the proper manner, right? Because your whole the work is depend on that only. Now what are the things you can have in your introductions? Build a case for why study is important or the necessary. We are doing a research, but it should be impactful. So raise the questions over there. Provide a brief background. You have to provide it, details, because you have to link with the past research, and then you are creating your own research. State the hypothesis or the central questions or theme. That is very essential, because if you are not stating the hypothesis or the central questions, arguments, what exactly you want as a desirable result, not a result but desirable result, and for that, because you have already assumptions while before you start any kind of a work, any kind of a research, you have already one assumption that these things I am going to do and I'll get this one. That is your desirable research, desirable your answer. So always the hypothesis or the central questions on the theme. The next is give a paragraph about what the investigation purpose is to do. Always, if you are a good investigator, then you have to talk about in a one paragraph, not in detail also, what the investigation purpose, why this kind of the investigation is going on. In a part of discussion, first answer the questions posed and introduction, which I'm frequently telling you about that one. Because you are writing, you are raising the questions and you are answering the questions. This is the exact work of a research. Discuss the possible mechanism. What are the other things? What are the resolutions you can use? You have to discuss that part in the discussion as well. Discuss the weakness and the discrepancies. Sometimes the limitations of the sample, sometimes the limitations to covered in the theories we have in English language. So you have to talk about that also. In the other subject, apart from the English language, if I am talking about that one, they are facing any kind of a trouble, and due to some lack of resources, they cannot cover that portion. They have to discuss it in their discussion part. Explain what is new without exaggeration. Exaggeration is not acceptable in any kind of a research, any kind of a writing. So don't use that one ever. Your language should be in a very lucid manner, because you are writing not to show something you are based. You are writing for the utility of a people, for the utility of a fraternity, and to use it in for the further progress. Do not repeat and discussion or the speculate too much. The main thing is that sometimes what happens, the repetitions of ideas are there, because it is by nature at the initial stage, at the beginning level. What happens in the introductory part, you have write something, and directly or indirectly, if you are discussing something in the discussion part, unconsciously you covered that portions as well, which is not necessary. See, the research, whether it is of a 3 pages or 4 pages or 8 pages, length never matters. The quality matters. Quantity does not. So always remember that. Try to avoid the repetitions of your notions, of your ideas, of your thoughts, whatever you are trying to expose. In the part of conclusions and the summary. In a conclusion or summary, you, whatever the questions you are using at the introductory part as a part of hypothesis, you have to cover that in the concluding part, and you have to summarize perspectives, then implications. What are the good things you can apply to get the better result, to get a good result? That things you can talk about in conclusion part or the summary. The main thing is that the suggestions for further work. The suggestions for further work in your paper is very, very important part. Because you have studied this, but the research never ends. So, from where you ends, the new concept will start from there. Your end will be someone's beginning, as you have already done the work. So, the thing is that you have to pose the questions. You have to suggest the questions for the further work. That is also the main part of a conclusion. References. See, we know that there are various styles for the references. APA style is there, MLA style is there, American style, what we are using, what we are calling in APA. Chicago style is there. So the various reference styles are there. So be conscious about that. You have to use relevant reference which is in the guideline of your journal. Be selective based on the credibility. Read the references before referring. Always it is better to advise. Whenever you are using someone's work, whenever you are using someone's reference, always read it, because there are chances you get something new from that reference. Do not misquote. Actually, sometimes in a hurry this happens, but in a very minor manner this happens. But do not misquote someone's work. Use correct style and the format for the journals, which I have already discussed with you. As per the demand of the journals, you have to use that particular style only. Cite the patents carefully. Don't misquote IP rights. Yes, I use the word IP rights. Every journal has their standard norms, and they have already discussed on their sites, or whether it is in a print form, they discussed it. They have already written it. So the thing is that whenever you are publishing something, your research work or articles, right, use the standard format which is already advised by the journal. That is also the major thing. Abstract. Whenever you are done with your research paper, then the journal, they will demand for the abstract. Abstract is nothing but summary of a paper. So I use the word critical part of the paper, because you whatever the things you have done, whatever the approaches you are using to claim your study, in a proper manner, that all the things you have to reflect in the abstract. So that is overall summary. What are the things we can encapsulate in abstract? Then state the main objectives, it should be there. The most results with clear manner, you have to summarize conclusions and the significance. Avoid acronyms. Don't use acronyms. Write and rewrite until flawless. The main thing is that write and rewrite. Provide the right keywords for indexing. This is the main thing. You cannot use directly. Then the title. The things which I am already discussed with you, it should be not long. Avoid abbreviations while you are using the title in eye-catchy manner. 3 examples I have given: teaching through video advertisement to ESL learner, use of advertisement for the second language learner, impact of advertisement to enhance communication skill among the ESL learners. So you can identify that one. The second one is very impressive. So choose the title in this manner. Why it is impressive? It is short and sweet. That is why. That's what. Nothing else in this. And it is lucid. The other things you have to keep in mind: use the proper tense. That is a main thing. Avoid complex sentences or the long passive things in technical writings. Don't switch back from one tense to another tense. In a part of submission, read the instruction carefully, fill out all the necessary forms, copyrights, conflicts of interest, writes the covering letters. That all the things are on initial stage of your advice board. Responding to the reviewers, how to respond it, carefully prepare your responses. Sometimes reviewer may be wrong, so you have to, in a very precise manner, in a very careful manner, you have to interact with that person. Don't respond to the reviewers while upset. Get a help, address the corrections, and these all the things you have to keep in mind. Address the corrections, chief editors, and those all these things. The address, in short. You have to find a proper journals, right, which I have already discussed with you. H-index part is essential. Why? I would like to talk about that in detail, because H-index part refers to your citations, and that works is going to provide you the benefits at the international level. So be conscious about that one, about the H-index part as well. And at the last portions, I cited one slogan from the Rigveda, which leads for a good research and how to reach with a good research to the people. That is Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnata Purna Madhyaset Purnesya Purno Adaya Purnamesha Mishasyate Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti. That means I would like to translate in from infinity is born infinity. When infinity is taken out of infinity, only infinity is left over. That means research is an unending process, and the research starts from the search and search and search. Thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed well. Thank you very much.